Hey guys, this is Alex from 4C Trading, and right off the bat I would like to wish you a happy new year. I hope it's gonna be a lot better than it was the last one. Market wise, the last one was pretty epic, right? But when it comes to real life, pretty much everything was going to shit, right? So I really hope this 2021 is gonna be a lot better. So I am recording this video a little bit in the past, right? So I do hope nothing has changed during that new year time. But I mean, since I'm gonna be showing a little bit of something different this time around, a little bit of bigger analysis on Tron USD this time around, and we are even going to check Tron BTC. So and since it's going to be super high time frames, or should I say not so super high, but days, daily or weekly, things shouldn't matter, right? I mean, things shouldn't be changing that fast that this would be already relevant by the time this video drops on 1st of January, right? So right off the bat, when I'm seeing a chart like this, so yes, we haven't talked a lot about Tron in our channel for like the past year, right? But the thing is, I wanted to do a little bit of an update on it because I've done most of the other main coins, right? But I've skipped on Tron, right? So yeah, I definitely want to do a little bit of an update and kind of see what's going on. And when I look at the Tron daily, or even in this case weekly, right? The Tron chart is not that bad at all, right? And right off the bat, when we go on weekly, we can already see that he reacted a lot of the times in this special area right here, right? In this area, you already had a bunch of reactions, right? So this was our first case would now be after seeing something this, jump over to a lower time frame, like a 4-hourly, and try to find a trade there. And if we wanted to find a trade there, we would probably most likely have to be finding it around this space, right? So the trade would be located in the next couple of days. But we know from the fact already, for the reason is that we already tested this area. Look at this, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times already tested this area, and one time even went higher of it and still returned back to it, right? All the way back to the beginning. And in this case, as I'm gonna say, you know, we already drained a lot of liquidity from this space, right? So it begs the question, is this trade even safe anymore? And in this case, you know most of my trading style. This kind of trade would not normally be safe for me to take anymore, so I probably wouldn't pursue it. But if you really want to trade Tron, I can give you a smaller time frame trade as it is right now on 4-hour, located right here, because if it doesn't hold this, it was most likely going to go lower, which is something where my video is mostly oriented this time around. And this time around, you're gonna have a 7% stop loss, and your first profit take is gonna be located right up here. And it's not too bad, right? It's about 15% or 2.2 R. But yes, most of these videos, like we already said, this is a weekly box, so I'm gonna delete it for now. And most of these videos said is gonna be a little bit play of a higher time frames, and we can assume that it's gonna go a little bit lower, right? So the next biggest area I'm gonna be seeing here is this one, right? And you can see that we basically touched almost this area. We can consider this one as tested as well, right? But it is not tested if we move it just a little bit down here, right? So if we move the box from the previous lowest location, top location of the box, to the previous lowest location, you can see that we have considerable gap left in here still that we can potentially fill. And if it comes down here, not only we are now gonna have a lot better stop loss than we had the first time around, it's also gonna be a lot more profitable for that same reason. And you can see here that if I move my move it right here where I usually place my stop losses, you can see that I'm actually getting one of the mainest, or should I say a weekly trade on 6% stop loss, which is absolutely amazing, right? Now, the first profit take, as you already guessed it has to be taken on the previous low that we created on this structure right here. And even if you'll check it to the left side, you can see that it is quite, it lines up quite great. That's what I'm essentially trying to say here. And if we do a profit take like this, you can see that on very first profit take, we already are at 15%. Or 16% and 2.4 R. So yes, this trade does turn out to be really good. And you know, if we go for the second profit take, which in this case I'm gonna skip this one because I would go right back to the top one, like the one we had on the smaller trade, and this time around it is 50% or 7.4 R. So far, I mean, for a first profit take, I would be pretty certain it's gonna be hit if it reacts from this area, especially seeing how strong this area was in the past, right? I really do hope it's not gonna weak us out. The only issue I see from here, if it falls quickly down, so some major down could happen, it could quickly weak us out and close back in. But for that reason, as I already stated, right, you gotta be using Tab Trader application on your phone and use alert function on it for you to, and rather than stack an actual stop loss on Binance, because as I already said, that happens many times, and that's a pretty good reason for you to avoid it, or should I say it just works when it comes to it, right? So that would be kind of the first play that is really visible here, and it's probably gonna take some time to get filled, if I'm not wrong. This is still like 25% away, so it's probably gonna take at least a week to get filled on this if it drops down, right? But yeah, you can see this trade would be kind of a good one to start in the next year, obviously, right? Now if we jump over back to TRXBTC, let's go again for Bitfinex, right? Wait, I'm not, no, I actually not on Bitfinex, because I do think Binance has Binance has. So I'm gonna be deleting everything now because it went to a lower low. So I have deleted the whole chart. When I look at the chart on Binance, or should I say on Bitcoin pairing, I mean, it is a lot shittier look, right? So when I'm hit with something like this, yes, my first immediate reaction is gonna be, I'm gonna be aiming at something like this down below, right? I'm gonna be aiming at this area down below, but you can see this area is super low, so it might not get hit in the future. Especially if you look at it, we have to drop still 60% in order for that to happen. And not only that, the issue of this area is, why you can't take it in advance anymore, is the problem is, look, if you place a stop loss right here, the range gets extremely tight, so we're most likely gonna have a fat stop loss, right? But I'm gonna say a fat stop loss in this case, it's not all bad. Well, 40% stop loss it is actually. So it's not all bad in some cases, because look, the optimal reaction area can go up quite a lot, right? If you look at it, just the earliest one, you can see there's a potential 300% pump, right? It is quite a wide area. So yeah, you could understand a fat stop loss at this point, right? But the logic when it comes to TRXBTC, we have to be playing it differently, right? Because we are just not gonna take a fat stop loss like that. I think that wouldn't be a wise choice to begin with, right? So what you do in this kind of cases is you wait for some reactions of the price. So you can see the current staircase, right? You can see the current staircase of the price going down. Right now we are painting kind of this staircase going down. So one of the chances of now happening is if Bitcoin continued its run, right? Right now it's still continuing its run, and it's most likely gonna break the top, as what I was checking the chart lately, right? So if you're still gonna continue this run, then eventually, yes, you will definitely hit this area, right? And in this area you will be able to play an early reversal, right? But you would have to seek for that early reversal pattern, right? So when it comes to this, an early reversal, the most common one you can possibly see on the chart, is something like this. So what we are looking at is something like this, right? When it creates a right wing, goes under the right wing, and goes pumps above the right wing, closes above it, and then just reacts from this empty space right here area, right? So that would be an early reversal sign that works many times when it comes to crypto, right? And this time around, you can see that it's happened something like this around, you've created something like this, you came back, you reacted from it, right? And you went up. And even if you took it all the way back here again, right, for this case, yes, in this case you would get wrecked. It's definitely not 100% trade, but it's still a good one when it comes to it, right? Because a lot of people look at chart like this, right? And they're just smashing longs, right? And they're just DCAing their price in, right? And then eventually they get super wrecked, right? By doing that, it's definitely not a solution that you want to be partaking in, right? So yeah, people who do that will most likely get wrecked on trading long-term speaking, right? So now you don't have to be doing that if you're bullish on TRX, right? You can just simply wait for something like this to happen, right? Close back in, take the trade here, right? And you moon it. And then even when it comes back down, if it does come back down, you can take the trade again here, and it's most likely going to be some sort of a reaction, even though it hasn't happened here. It has happened many times in the past. Like I said, the pattern is not 100%. So yeah, that would be kind of the most ideal play that can happen on TRXBTC. But again, when it comes to USD, it looks a lot better than BTC, and that's pretty normal, because looking at the current BTC dominance, it is still above 70%. So it is to expected that BTC pairings are gonna be working a lot slower. And even though the coin TRX is currently not on a hot streak, right? It's definitely not on a hot streak, so that that is most common reaction from it as well. I mean, you know, we all know crypto, right? Crypto coins keep going on hot streak and cold streak and so on, and they just keep on switching between each other, and then one pumps and the other dumps and so on, right? So yes guys, this would be my kind of a higher time frame analysis from Tron. It's finally giving it some love, right? So yeah, showing what can happen and how we should play it. And yes guys, please do subscribe to our channel. Enjoy your new year holidays, right? And I guess we will be seeing each other in the next one.